San Antonio, this is Robb for the Metalworks, and yes, the night has finally arrived. The third annual Robbs MetalWorks Showcase has ascended here at Sam's Burger Joint, and it brings me great pleasure to begin this evening's work with a band that we worked very diligently in bringing to San Antonio for the first time in many, many years. And with esteemed pleasure, I welcome Robb, Lowe, and John Perez of the band Solitude Aeturnus. How are you guys doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing fucking great, man. We're glad to be here. It's a pleasure.
How you doing, John?
Absolutely good, man. We are stoked to be here. Very happy you brought us down here, Robb. Thank you, man.
It's been a long time coming. We've been working to make this happen, and I'm glad that everything fell into place. There's going to be a lot of happy metal fans here tonight. Yeah. Let's start off just looking back a little bit. John, you made an announcement earlier in this month about the recent happenings with Solitude Aeturnus, and for the diehard fans out there who want to know what's been going on with the band, kind of condense your last official notice to all the fans out in the world of Solitude Aeturnus. What's going on with the band and what's happened here as of late?
Well, we broke up, and this is the only show we're doing, so... No, wait, that's the wrong information. That's a different thing. No, man, we went through... one of the things that I always prided myself on, and what we always prided ourselves on, was our lineup changes were never very much. And unfortunately, we had to go through some lineup changes. Edgar Rivera, our guitar player, decided he didn't want to do this anymore, and that kind of took me a while to get over that, because love Edgar, still do, and he's a great guitar player. It's hard to replace him. But with much encouragement from everybody, especially Steve Mosley, our bass player, we decided to continue on. He's an exceptional guitar player, took over the lead spot. And then, of course, we had to deal with our beloved Wolf Covington leaving the band, and that sucked too. But we got another guy, and he's great too, and we're pushing forward, man. That's it in a nutshell, really. A lot of difficulty getting to where we're at right now, but you know, we're still committed to doing it. Robert and I and Steve are just committed to you know, doing what we love to do, which is play good, heavy metal music with melody, but heavy as hell, and that's what we're here to do. So,
Robb, there's a lot of fans really who connect with you because you are online and you're giving the fans little snippets of music and stuff. You guys are working on new material. It's not really for the diehard fans out there. Any news that your new CD will be called Alone? Talk a little bit about the new Solitude Aeturnus music that's going to hopefully see the light of day by the end of this year.
Maybe. Maybe it is. No, actually, the new CD Alone pretty much represents a lot of what even John was saying, whereas within the last several years, there's been a lot of things happen to each and every one of us, the lineups and, you know, just life in general. And I've had a couple of things happen to me over the last few years, and so pretty much the Alone, I know it's a simply stated term for an album, but it represents everything that has happened to me, and the lyrics that are going to be on this album are quite personal and quite heartfelt, that this was an outlet for me, and we've got, you know, the great players like John and Steve and everybody else to make this happen. So it's just basically just a personal reflection on my life over the last 2 years.
The lyrics are very important to our band, and the lyrics on this album are going to reflect a lot of some of the problems and trials and tribulations that especially Robert has gone through, and the rest of the band. Musically speaking, we are on target more than ever now. It's been insane. These songs, actually, this is kind of weird. The songs on this next album are actually about 3 or 4 years old, some of them. So they're done. We have like enough songs to do basically 2 albums, and musically speaking, we're looking at basically as good as anything we've ever done, if not better, and it's very much in the same vein of what we've done before. We don't like to change too much. We just change enough with each album to where it's interesting to listen to. You don't have the, you know, love all these bands I'm about to mention, but we don't have the AC/DC, Motorhead, or Ramones syndrome where, you know, album after album, it's kind of the same deal.
Right.
Our thing is, you know, album after album, we want to make it kind of the same deal, but a little different enough to where each album is its own thing. So that's where we're at musically and lyrically with this new album.
It's the Solitude formula with just a little twist here and a little pie added there and so on and so forth. So the fans are going to get what they expect, but they're going to get something new and fresh also.
Let's talk technical information because people want to know that as well. Where are you guys recording the CD? Who's turning the knobs? Things like that.
Actually, we are ready to record the disc. However, we took a little break so that we could come play this show in San Antonio. Cool. And because we had some new members, we had to spend the last several weeks working up the old set with these new guys to make sure that we, you know, that we kick some ass for you guys. Right. So we took a little break in the action, so we're going to go back, rehearse for another 2, 3, 4 weeks maybe, who knows. I mean, and go into a studio at that time. We haven't determined what studio yet, but we know it's going to be somewhere probably in the Dallas area, and we've got enough production skills on our, on our own. Well, we always usually twiddle our own knobs anyway. Cool. Well,
to the dismay of some fans across the pond there in Europe, there were some shows that were recently canceled. And I think, just like John said, kind of more of this adjustment period. Will there still be plans to do some shows? I think are there still some shows that you'll commit to in Europe?
Definitely. As soon as we get back from this and go back and hit the studio and knock this thing out, we're already on it. We've already started talking to these people again, and they understand the situation. So come 2006, the world better watch their fucking ass, because Solitude is going to be right up it.
Cool. Does that include, John? And obviously, you guys are more popular and well known in Europe. Does that still include some work here in the U.S.? I mean, would you still like to go out there and hit the streets of the different cities in the U.S. and get nitty and gritty and tour that way?
Well, we'd very much like to. Whether or not we can actually do full-on tours like working bands do, it's another thing to be decided yet. We're always open to playing shows and short tours or long tours, depends on if the situation is right, but we are nevertheless going to play live a lot more than we have in the past several years. We've been kind of dormant for reasons that we kind of touched on, but definitely going to be out there pushing the new album like crazy when it comes out, and that includes some more shows down here too, and around Texas a lot more so. And yeah, man, we're going to go full swing ahead, once this new album is recorded. It's a long time coming. So.
John, I want to ask you about your label. People know out there that you do Brainticket Records. Talk a little bit about your label. Are you still doing things on there? Are you still cultivating not only heavy bands, but other types of music as well, I read?
Yeah, just try to make this real quick. In a nutshell, yes, I am still pursuing that. Yes, it's still difficult. It's a struggle. The goal of my record label is simply really to bring across music to the people that I think is worthy of being heard. And, I think I've got good musical taste, a good musical ear, and so I like to push bands that I think are doing good things for the metal community or just the music community. My aim with that is to bring good quality heavy music mainly to people, and then we throw in some kind of drug-infested psychedelic rock too, that's fine too, because I'm into that as well too, so it can go hand in hand. So yes, I'm still doing that, and plan to keep doing that as long as I can. Yeah.
I wish you the best, man.
Thank you. I need it.
People reference, including myself, Solitude Aeturnus as the innovators of doom metal, the creators of doom metal.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
How do you feel? I mean, when it's all said and done for John Perez, what do you want people to remember you for?
That I've got this cool San Antonio Slayer shirt on, basically. This is my hometown, San Antonio, man, so I always feel at home when I come down here. I grew up here, and I really, it sounds too fake and noble to say it, but I don't really care what I'm necessarily remembered for. I'm really more concerned with just putting out what I think is good music. So I guess to answer your question, yes, I'd like us to be remembered as band that consistently does what we want to do. Every other band says that, but it's true, and we consistently do what we want to do, and our focus has always been on putting out quality heavy music with attention to detail and songwriting and sounds, and that's what we've done since day one, and we're still doing it, and as long as we can keep doing that, that's what we'll do. That's what I want to be. I want people to look at us as being a unique band. They don't have to like us if they don't want, but they have to, not have to, but I'd like people to recognize that we are a unique band, and that's what we do, I mean, I guess that's it in a nutshell, just that we're a unique band and we're doing things our own way and have been doing that for a long time. So,
any last words, Robb, for the people out there in San Antonio? Anything you want to share?
I would just like to say thanks to you and making this happen, is bringing us down here and getting this going again, man.
Cool.
Because we're ready to kick some ass.
How about you, John?
I am proud to be playing back in my hometown of San Antonio, where I grew up with Joe Anthony, Kiss FM, et cetera, and the great underground bands from San Antonio. Started the band with a guy from Death Tripper up here and back in '87. So my last words are just thank you, Robb, for bringing us back down here and being able to play for a bunch of San Antonio metal fanatics and all the out-of-town people too. So thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Definitely my pleasure. Remember, San Antonio, the new work from Solitude Aeturnus will be called Alone. By the time you see this, it should be already on the streets. Get online, eternalsolitude.com. Go to robbsmetalworks.com. You can learn all about it. Pick up your CD, because undoubtedly, Solitude Aeturnus fucking rocks on Robbs Metalworks.